Today I get to interview Dana Ard, and you want to give us your title?
I'm president of the National Federation of the Blind of Idaho.
And every state affiliate in the Federation has a state convention once a year, and the Idaho convention is coming up.
Yes, it is. It's coming up April the 23rd through the 25th at the Best Western Vista Inn in Boise, Idaho, 2645 West Airport Way. And it should be a really fun event.
So if somebody wants reservations for the hotel, they contact the hotel, right?
They contact the hotel and just say that they want to reserve for the National Federation of the Blind of Idaho convention, and you will get the room rate.
And those days are Thursday evening, Friday, and Saturday, is that correct?
That is correct.
So everything should be over Saturday night.
Yes, the banquet ends the convention.
Okay. So what else is included besides the banquet?
There's a lot of things included in a convention. First of all, we always have a theme, and sometimes we get the theme toward the end of when we're planning what we're going to do, and sometimes we get it ahead of time, and that was this year. We decided that our theme should be what is the theme of a new song for the Federation called Who Are We, NFB? And we decided that that should be our theme for the 2026 convention. So once we get that, then we start to plan what's going to go on at the convention. And I've done enough of these now to where I have a pattern that I like as far as things that we do and in their order. Our Thursday night is going to be a fun time. We're going to elaborate on what we sometimes do, which is just a reception. But this year, we're going to do what we're going to call a rookie roundup, and that is for people that are fairly new to the National Federation of the Blind, but everybody's invited, and I hope everyone will come, because we are going to talk about, among other things, the alphabet soup that we have. Every organization has an alphabet that they talk about. They have words that they use. And some of our newcomers, they come to convention and they hear these words and they're going, what is a division? What is a chapter even? So we're going to talk about some of that. And another thing we're going to do for those who want to do it, we will do a walk through of the hotel so that people get familiar and are comfortable. Because sometimes you go into a hotel and it's like, where do I go for this? Where do I go for that? And so we want people to feel comfortable. And then we're going, go ahead.
You said we got the theme. I don't think it came down like manna from heaven. How did we get the theme?
We got the theme because I liked the song, and I told the convention chair at the time, who sadly has passed away, Sandy Streeter, I said, I think this should be our theme, and she said, yeah, I like it. So that's what we did.
The chair of what?
Well, the chair of our convention committee.
Okay, so.
But right now we're kind of lacking a chair of the convention committee, so I'm sort of it.
Okay, so what does the convention committee do?
Well, the convention committee makes suggestions about things that we ought to do at the convention, among other things. They suggest speakers. They suggest even sometimes timing of some things. Like this year, we were having some concerns about when some particular activity should take place, and our committee came up with some what I think are pretty good solutions to this. So they are good to help with that. And they also will take people's suggestions, as we all will. This is our convention. This isn't my convention. This really isn't necessarily the committee's convention either, because we want input from everyone about what they want.
Okay, so I interrupted you. You got Thursday. I think you finished with Thursday. You want to tell us what's happening on Friday and Saturday?
Well, on Friday, I haven't decided which order we're going to do this, but my intent is that we're going to get a proclamation from our mayor for the city of Boise, welcoming us to the city of Boise. And that will be on one of the days. And on the other day, we are going to do a tribute to America, which I have decided after some thought to entitle it Music Through the Centuries. There are some really neat things that we can do with music that I hadn't even thought about, but music there's even music from the 1700s, and there's some songs from the 1800s like Yankee Doodle Dandy and Oh Susanna, that's considered an American song, and plus some of the ones that we know, and probably ending with God Bless the USA. And so we will do that probably on Saturday for our opening.
On Saturday.
On
Okay.
Saturday, and have the proclamation on Friday. At least that at this point.
Okay. And then
Those
are the openings.
Those are the openings. And after that, we will have speakers. And I know on Friday we're going to have a panel. Who are we, NFB? We're going to invite, and they will have already been invited, so they're prepared to speak on what NFB has meant to them. And my intent is to get people that have been longtime members and some new members, because each one has different things to share. And so that will be the Friday opener, at least at this point I plan on that. And then we will have educational presentations during Friday morning. We typically do that. It's a good time to have our Idaho School for the Deaf and Blind present, Commission for the Blind, and the Idaho Library, what there is left of the Idaho State Library. But they are coming, and they're going to present on what they're doing. And we will also have a person from the ABLE project, because ABLE has now come to Idaho. And so it was suggested by two of our members that we have someone speak on that, because it is a good opportunity for certain people to be able to save money so that they can be more independent. We will have a vendor show on the first part of the afternoon on Friday. And this year we are going to have vendors like Commission for the Blind and hopefully Idaho Assistive Technology and others to show products, but we're also inviting people that are either doing small business or people that do crafts to come and display their crafts. And I just got notified that we are going to have someone who is working on making adaptive games, so for the blind, including Braille, etc. So we have now been joined in our conversation by Cookie, who is my Chewini. And she is parading across the table and has joined us.
Wants to be in the video.
She wants to be in the video.
And we'll let you stay, but it'd be nice if you'd lay down and be still.
She's on my lap. Okay. She's on my lap now. So anyway, after that, then our national representative, we have a national rep every year who represents our national office. And this year it is Tom Page from Kansas. And we're really excited to have Tom because he has a small affiliate, about the same size as ours, and a lot of similarities. And we've got some topics for him to educate us about, and hopefully he'll have some fun ways to do that, because we've got a lot of new members, and that's a good problem to have. But we need to educate people about our organization and how do we work. And what do we do?
That's okay. It's just my eyes falling on the floor. So Tom represents the president of the organization,
right?
Not the NFB of Kansas primarily.
No.
That's just his experience.
Right. He represents the president and our national movement.
And then this business kind of stuff will carry into Saturday. Is that correct?
Well, we'll do, after we do it on Friday, and we may have some other things toward the end of Friday afternoon that haven't been exactly worked out yet.
Sure.
And then we always have our board meeting, our state board meeting, and it's a great time to introduce our scholarship winners. We have scholarships that we give every year in the amount of $3,000 per scholarship.
And there are three this year?
And there are three. There are three this year. And those people will get to come and introduce themselves at the board meeting.
And is that open? Can people be applying now?
Oh yes, scholarship is open. People can apply now, and they should get their applications in so I can get my president's interview done. Because I write a letter concerning every scholarship individual. I interview them personally, and then write a letter for the scholarship committee. We have a committee who makes the decision on who the winners will be.
And so, how do they apply?
They apply, they can either go to our website and go to scholarships, or they can contact our chair of the scholarship committee, Joe Grover, or myself. I could send a copy of the scholarship application. But probably the easiest thing is to get on the website and do it.
And what is the website?
www.nfbidaho.org.
Right. Okay, because we'll have another chance to say that, but you can't say it too much.
That's true.
All right, and so then Friday night is another...
Yeah, Friday night we're going to have a really fun time. We're going to have an open mic night, and one of the things that Tom Page brings to us is wonderful music talent. He's a guitarist. He actually has his own band and does professional work, and he's going to be there, and we're going to invite everybody to let down their hair and perform and just have a good time. We did this last year and it was a blast. Our scholarship winners were all really musical, and they joined us, and we just had a great time. And everybody, and we may also in the middle of this have some baskets that we're going to be auctioning off, and we'll probably have a little break to auction a few baskets, because that's how we make some money so that we can keep on doing these conventions.
The NFB is kind of well known for door prizes. How do you win a door prize?
You win a door prize by registering at the convention and by being present in the room when your name is called. And all the names are in a big hat, and even if you win a door prize, you can still win another one. And people sometimes complain about that, and they say, well, that person already won one. They ought to have their name taken out. We say, no. Everybody is eligible as long as you're registered and you're in the room.
Okay, and so how do we get our door prizes?
Well, you get your door prizes from after your name has been called, and you stand up and you yell and scream and say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask it well enough. How does the door prize committee get
Where do they
door
come
prizes?
from?
Yes.
Okay, everybody is responsible for bringing some door prizes. The chapters do it. The chapters, we give generally cash. I know last year I went to Costco and I got some gift cards that I wanted to give. But people can give door prizes. We want them to have some value. And I would say having value of around $20 is a good idea. We want the door prizes to have meaning and value. So we do get them, and generally we are pretty good. I always worry that we're not going to have enough, and then when the convention hits, we've got scads of door prizes because people want to give and people want to win.
Yes. Okay, so and that goes on both Friday and Saturday.
Absolutely.
During the business meetings.
During the business meetings.
And the banquet.
Yes.
So what happens at the banquet?
Well, what happens at the banquet is, first of all, we have somebody that's the MC, and I'm sure this year it'll be Susan Bradley, because she's the chapter president, and we're the host chapter, and she likes to do it, so she'll be doing it, which will be nice because they can hear somebody besides me, because they've heard me all weekend long, and I like to sit down and really enjoy somebody else doing it. And so we'll have that, and we do give we have the banquet address done by our national representative, and usually that's somewhere between 25 to 35 or 40 minutes, and oftentimes it's a story of their lives and how the National Federation of the Blind has impacted them. And so there's a lot of good information that's shared, and you really get to know the person as a person, because he might be our national representative, but he's a blind guy. He's one of us. or she. This year it's a he. But anyway, we're going to get to listen to that, and then we'll have our scholarship awards, and we'll have some more auctioning of our baskets and fun. I haven't decided if there's going to be other entertainment at this time.
And sometimes we have other awards, but
We do.
We may not know that yet.
We may not know that.
All right. And so who makes this all happen?
Well, we all make it happen, because if you don't have people at the convention, you don't have it happen. I'm not quite sure what you're going for, but we're there.
Well, you've got a convention committee, and
Right.
you said they give suggestions.
Yeah.
So who makes the final decisions?
Me.
Me.
Yes, I do. And I contact the speakers, and if a speaker has been mentioned, I contact the speakers and I make the schedule. And I do send it out and let people look at it, because sometimes in the typing of a schedule, one can make mistakes, and I have done that. And I remember one year I had somebody's name spelled wrong, and it was clear until the final copy. Unfortunately, I caught it. And actually, it wasn't me that originally spelled it wrong. But anyway, we do it that way, and we make sure that it's as correct as we can make it.
Oh, if there was not a single error in an agenda, it would be amazing.
Well, and there are some, and then I'll read it through again and find it. I'm sitting there looking at it going, oh, okay.
And what are resolutions?
Oh, resolutions are, they are policy. They become the policy of the affiliate. They are a stand that we may make on an issue, and we have a resolutions committee that I appoint. It's one of the committees that I'm responsible for appointing. And people who, let's say somebody has a concern about education of blind children for ISDB. They may make a resolution asking that they need more teachers, for instance, and this has actually happened. So the resolution may say that we would like, we are asking them to ask the legislature for an additional teacher in this particular area. And if we pass that resolution, then it becomes the policy of our organization, and we send a copy of that resolution to the party for which it pertains. Like the principal of IESDB would get that copy of the resolution.
And IESDB stands
Idaho
for
Educational Services for the Deaf and Blind. They're the people that provide educational services both on campus and in most school districts these days for kids that are deaf and blind. But we are concerned about the blind side of the school.
Sure. All right. So and those resolutions can be introduced anytime during the convention?
Well, the resolutions committee needs to pass them before they're introduced to the convention. And the resolutions committee, what we've been doing the past few years is the resolutions are due before the conventions. That gives the resolutions committee a chance to meet, and they meet virtually to look these over. They get copies and they look them over and they discuss them. And then usually they have a meeting at the convention, which is kind of a finalization. And it also, you could have resolutions that you didn't get when there was a call for them, although I'm pretty strong about sticking to a deadline. If I say they need to be in by the Saturday before convention, I really mean that, but
they could be ruled out of order.
Exactly, yeah. But sometimes something comes up and we didn't know about it. So you can't be so hard and fast that you can't give that up. You know.
Well, you spoke of a board meeting. What does the board do?
The board is the governing entity of the affiliate. They advise the president, they work with the president, they make decisions that may, impact the organization. For instance, I'm trying to think of a good example of of that right now that's come up. Well, for instance, we had to, a couple years ago, write a document that had to do with accessibility and how we were going to deal with accessibility issues at the convention. And all national affiliates had to write this document, and we had to submit it to our national office. And so they all have a copy of it. And we had something to go on, but that had to go through the board.
So the board can help plan convention, but does it do things between conventions too?
Sure. Yeah, we meet 4 times a year. We meet in the fall, in the winter, and in the spring. And usually we have a meeting in the summer because something does usually come up. Something may come up, and it could be something that our national office wants us to attend to, that it's important for us to do, or maybe something has come up in our state that we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm. And it does everything from budgets to schedule.
Oh, absolutely. We do a budget every fall. And this year, I was so proud of our whole affiliate. We set forth a budget in the fall of $50,000. And the feeling was, boy, that's kind of pie in the sky. But you know what? With our fundraiser that we did in December, and with what we've done, we have it in the treasury, and we will be able to do our programs, whether it's Bell and Beyond for the kids or Silver Bells for the seniors. We will be able to do it.
Great. So what should I have asked about the president's role in the NFB of Idaho that I didn't ask?
Well, I thought you were pretty thorough in what you asked. Any major decisions that need to take place, they need to be brought to me, and then I can decide, is it something that I can just rule on? Because there are things that I can just do. I can just say, like, for instance, if somebody needs money for an activity, as long as I don't think it's absorbent. We had this happen in Coeur d'Alene where they needed some money to do an activity for children. Well, we support children's activities, and it's not anything that one would question, do we support it? And so I went ahead and made the decision that yes, we can spend the money for that.
An amount, you gave me a ceiling or something.
Right, I did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we appreciate your giving us this information and making it available to people across the state and across the country. If there's anything you want to add, this is your last chance.
Well, I just want to encourage people to come to the convention. When I think about doing a convention, I think that a convention needs to be inspirational, needs to have inspiration, it needs to have education, and it needs to be friendly, and it needs to be fun. And so if you want to meet some other like-minded blind people who enjoy getting together and making new friendships and having a good time, the 23rd through the 25th of April in Boise at the Best Western Vista Inn is where you need to be. And we don't have our registration form up yet, but it's coming. And if you've got questions, you can give me a call and you can look me up on the website. Okay. www.nfbidaho.org.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.